Yeah, guys, I'm back again with some more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about this satanic road. You know what I'm saying? Is a prison that they created for you, and these dudes are trying to kill us in this realm, and is a complete prison. You know what I'm saying? Is what we've been asking from the beginning of this channel. Why you have to pay for a living? Why do you have to pay for a living? And we've been exposing in this channel many times that one reason people have to pay for a living is because they were stripped from lands and from their rights. Yeah, they were stripped from the right to wield. They can't wield nothing. Okay, they have to go to these rich magnates and you know billionaires, and these billionaires create a system to run them, and these are these same billionaires that have to feed them, have to give them everything that they need, because they're not allowed to go and get anything by themselves. They all in this lab prison, you know what I'm saying, but brainwashed that they free and that they can do whatever they want, but they don't. They just brainwashed inside the machine, and with a lot of you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. The law said you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Yeah, and who wrote these laws? These same billionaires, these same people that own the banks that feed them, you know what I'm saying, are the ones that pass the laws. They are the ones that run governments. They are the ones that create this realm, and everybody abide to it by conforming with it and walking and doing the the contract, because everybody take this contract to do these things. Yeah, that's why I was telling you guys, if you want to be free, you can't, continue playing their games. You can't continue playing with their toys that they call, advanced tech. And this is the biggest prison that we will have, because they're trying to take you away from nature. They're trying to take you away from your freedom to wield your own role, to be yourself. So they gave you gods outside yourself, and then they told you to follow them. They are the gods that you follow. Be it you call it Jesus, be it you call it Yahweh, be it you call it Allah. These are all the same complex. It's all the same matrix. You know what I'm saying? So what they do, they take your energy and they prevent you from being free and being resourceful. They take you and they feed you, and when they don't want to feed you, they starve you to death. And whatever they feed you, they create this food in the lab, okay, because they not even bothered to grow you healthy food. So they create this food in lab so they can control the population, control how long you live, how many people are alive, how many people must go. They create things like you can do abortions, you can use condoms. They control the population and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna have a big family, you're not gonna exceed them. Okay, you can't own land, you can't do nothing. You're just a puppet chicken of theirs, that they use this chicken and they eat it, you know. And that's what people keep asking. Why do you have to pay to live in this motherfucking place that you were born? Because it is a prison. Because it is a lab. Let's go. Why is it that we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? Let's watch this. I don't understand why you have to pay to live on a planet you were born on. Good question. And I mean, it's such a simple question, and it's haunted me ever since. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Ask yourself that question. Why do we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? And who are we actually paying for the privilege of being alive here? Mm-hmm. Who made them the boss? Mm-hmm. Who put them in charge? You made them the boss. Everybody made them the boss. Why? Because we all contribute. we all uh, took vow. Yeah, you take a vow in your church to obey your masters, right? They teach you to obey your masters from the church and from your schools that you go. That these same people write these books, all these books that you believe, history books, all that motherfucking books. Yeah, that you spend time on YouTube talking all day. Is this truth? Is this not? Is this truth? Is this not? Because these people are totally lost. They don't know the self, okay? So they don't know the here and the now. They know we must be waiting for a motherfucker to come and save us. The government is going to save us. The government is going to come up with a solution. Don't worry. The government we vote is going to help us. But that government, every year, they start a war, people. They starting another war again. Yeah. And Trump is behind that war. And he said when they vote him, he said that he will be a peaceful guy, you know what I'm saying? That, he will be like Jesus. He's going to be like, he want to pacify everything, no wars in his mandate, not under his watch and this and that. Yeah. But the dude is right on track. These dudes, their whole life, they got a lot of money. They don't know what difficulty is. They don't know what hard life is. They live and swim in the money since they were born. They don't care about people. They don't care about poor people. In fact, their policy is that, the Israel is for the rich and the strong. If you're not rich and strong, screw you. You know what I'm saying? That's the policy they run with. Yeah, and everybody still hooked into this system that don't give them no benefits, people. They can't will nothing they want. They can't have children. They can't afford a house. They can, and motherfuckers are still want to save this motherfucking place. That is not worth the shits, man. It's just a bunch of a couple of rich people on top that own everything, decide everything. Yeah, they deciding that they're going to replace your job with robots and high tech. Yeah, because they about taking you out. And then they went and they starting a war to what? To what? To kill more people. Because that's what wars do. Yeah, they want to start that third world war, all scripted in these religious books. Yeah, all these religious people, they all waiting for them to bring fire on them, to kill them. That's the type of programming you living on. Yeah, people are in submission to their own dead. But they have no knowledge of truth. They have no will of themselves to will or to start planting food or to, leave the system alone. Let's disconnect. Yeah, that's all it takes. Disconnect from motherfuckers. Leave them alone. Take your money, nigga. Now you have billions. Take your money and stuff you and go live there with other billionaires like you, because we are gonna live like the natural people of the land. We actually gonna plant natural food, build our houses, and do what we got to do. That's how you have to act if you want to be free. But if you don't want to be free, we will continue voting for the next motherfucker. They're gonna start a war and kill us all. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what it brings. This is what it was scripted for. Okay, and these dudes are all crusaders. They tell you they running religious crusades since forever. It's 2025 and motherfuckers are still running religious crusades, changing other governments, invading other countries, yeah, doing colonizations, slavery, and all this type of shit. They didn't grow 1 inch, but they talk to you about they got how advanced they are, how It's all a bullshit, people. Yeah, don't let them fool you that they are advanced and that they have moral compass. They have no morals at all. Yeah, it's the law of the jungle that they live on. These are they don't act like people from here because they live in a total different world of what normal people do. Normal people are slaves. They live to survive. These dudes live to destroy. They have more money than any of us, all of us put together, and they wake up every day and they think, how many people are we going to destroy their lives and have them killed and make sure that we stay on top. That's all they do every day. They have a lot of money. Our money, they just come and take. They tax you, they come and take it. Mm-hmm.
Think about that. We're looking at a war over water, when instead of feeding the military-industrial complex, we could be building desalination plants all over the world.
Yeah, think about that. Just think about that. And I told you guys before, if everybody put down all that bullshit and we're actually doing what it takes to be free and to be not depending on these governments and on these people that don't give a damn about nobody, yeah, is the only way out. I told you guys, is to start doing what humans are supposed to be doing. Humans are not supposed to be working 50 hours a week to have health care. Yeah, you're not supposed to be working 50 hours a week so they can give you that health care because they made you sick with these shots and with all these bullshit chemical foods and all this bullshit they put in water and everything, make you a sick dude, and now you depend on them for more chemicals to stay alive. Well, even though it's killing you slowly, but you depend on them motherfuckers then for health care, and they need to charge you, and they hook you to these that drugs, and then they charge you. And when they don't want to charge you because they want you to die, they pull it off. They say, look, no health care unless you work 50 hours a week, 80 hours a week. You got to be a slave to get their health care after that. You see, everything they do, they make sure they enslave you, and there is no way out for you. They give you low wages for life. Your son comes and still earning less than you were earning when you start working. How do you explain that? When you do the inflation maths and all that shit, your kid today is earning less. Yeah, not even a third of what you were earning like 30 years ago. So how do you explain that? But all these motherfuckers up there on the top, they have billions and billions and billions coming to them every day because they make the law that all the money flows to the top. And you're still playing that game. It's your fault. Yeah, many of them, they all cowards. They sit on YouTube talking shit and don't get these dudes. They don't get to the truth. They hate the truth. They run from the truth. But the truth will always caught up with you at some point. They taught them to hate each other. They divide them. Yeah, look, you black. Look, you white. You must fight. Look, you're a man. You're a woman. You must fight. Look, then they divided us into countries to control us. Because when they divided us into countries, they divided us into conflicts. That's what it means. Yeah, a bordered people that is controlled from inside by a government that only allow them to do such and such things. They're not allowed to be free. They're not allowed to go out of their line. Yeah, they have to have a passport. They have to have authentication. They have to have permission. They are slaves. Everybody's a slave in this motherfucking place and refuse to admit that he's a slave. Yeah, and that these slaves, that's what happens to slaves. Their masters can do whatever they want. If they want to start a war, they start a war and kill everybody. They don't give a damn. They got money. They can hide somewhere nice and safe with all their gold inside a mountain while they bombard you and kill all your house and your neighborhood and your friends and everybody else. And when they are done, they come out and build another city on top of you, because that's what we see them doing back then. This is what they've been doing forever. But it seems humans are the most slow animals that don't learn with their own damn history, man. It's crazy. They still following a god outside of them. They're gonna pay the price. Let's go.
So everybody could have water, so they could grow crops. But are we doing it? Hell no. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to empower people to grow food and take care of themselves? Then we can't control them. In my opinion.
Here we go. If they empower you, like he said, if you empower yourself and you can take care of yourself, why do you need them? Then they can control you. Then they can control your healthcare. Then they can control your economy. Then they can control your frontier, where you can go and how far you can travel. It's not their business. They can control that. You know what I'm saying? So this is the whole reason they create the religion and the cube and the script, to keep you in this third dimensional prison. Let's go. I'm gonna put it a little bit back, because this is
to empower people to grow food and take care of themselves. Then we can't control them. In my opinion, I believe it was designed this way on purpose. We didn't get to a point to where we pay to live here for just a coincidence. It's a reason to it. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird. Why is it that we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? Just watch this. I don't understand why you have to pay to live on a planet you were born on. Good question. And I mean, it's such a simple question, and it's haunted me ever since. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Ask yourself that question. Why do we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? And who are we actually paying for the privilege of being alive here? Who made them the boss? Who put them in charge? You know? Think about that. We're looking at a war over water, when instead of feeding the military-industrial complex, we could be building desalination plants all over the world. So everybody could have water, so they could grow crops. But are we doing it? Hell no. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to empower people to grow food and take care of themselves? Then we can't control them. In my opinion, I believe it was designed this way on purpose. We didn't get to a point to where we pay to live here for just a coincidence. It's a reason to it. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.